All right, we are working on 4.1, 7th grade. Solving equations using addition and subtraction. Should not be a difficult chapter. Do your warm-ups. Should not be no food while you have your Chromebook out. We've had this conversation multiple times. Okay, find the product and write your answer as a decimal. Product means what?
Answer.
Of?
Addition.
Multiplication. Slow down. Multiplication. Make sure you pay attention to the signs. A negative times a negative is a? And then a negative times a positive would be a? Negative. All right, go ahead and do those. And once you have finished your warm-ups, start writing your key vocab and key ideas. All right, equivalent equations. Can anybody tell me what the definition of equivalent equations is? Joel?
Equivalent equations are two equations of the same solutions.
Yes, there are two equations that have the same solutions. Very good. You can use the addition and subtraction properties of equality to help you rearrange to get the equivalent equations. So if you look down here, the addition property of equality, all that's telling you is if I add one number to one side of the equal sign, I have to add the same number to the other side of the equal sign. And then the subtraction property of equality is the same, just with subtraction. If I subtract one number from one side of the equal sign, I have to subtract the same number from the other side of the equal sign. You have to keep the equation equal. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you got to do to the other side of the equation. Okay? So for instance, if A equals B, if I add C to A, then I also add C to B. That keeps the equation equal. Same thing with subtraction. If A equals B, if I subtract C from A, then I also subtract C from B. Okay, let's do an example. It'll make a little more sense. Write this in your journals. Example 1A. We're going to solve x minus 5 equals negative 1. So we're solving for the variable here. We're solving for x. So I got to get x all by itself. So I'm going to move this minus 5. How do I move this minus 5 to the other side of the equal sign?
Switch on it.
Not quite.
So, add.
We add. We do the opposite sign. So since this is minus, we're going to add. So I'm going to add 5 to the left, which means I also add it to the right side of the equal sign. See how? Look up here. So I add it on the left, so I add it on the right as well. So negative 5 plus 5 is 0, right? So I'm left with just x. What's negative 1 plus 5?
4.
Positive 4. So all I did was add 5 to the one side to move it over to the other side. So your answer would be x equals 4. Huh? You did. This is a review.
We did.
You probably just got into it at the end of the year. That's okay. You're learning it again if you didn't. That's okay. That's why math is repetition and building on each other. Yes, Joaquin.
Why did you do the 5 plus 5 when you 5 plus 5?
Okay, so I'm trying to get rid of this negative 5 right here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in order to move this to the other side so that x is by itself, I have to add 5 to it. Because it's a minus 5, so you do the opposite, which is addition. And then whatever I do to the left-hand side, I have to do the same to the right-hand side. So this is plus 5. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. You're not going to write x plus 0. You just write x. And then on the right-hand side, negative 1 plus 5 is 4. Does that help?
Yes.
Good. Okay, let's look at B. We're going to solve z plus 3 over 2 equals 1 over 2. So how would I move this positive 3 over 2?
Subtract.
Very good.
3 over 2.
We're going to subtract from both sides. Okay, so instead of it saying plus 3 over 2, I'm going to subtract 3 over 2 from the left, which means I subtract 3 over 2 from the right. Can I subtract these fractions right away?
No.
Yes.
Yes, why?
Same denominator.
They have the same denominator, so I don't change the denominator, I just look at the numerator, and 1 minus 3 is what?
2.
What kind of 2?
Negative.
Negative 2. which negative 2 over 2 would just be a positive 1, negative 1. If you have 2 over 2, it just equals 1. So the answer would be z equals negative 1. Huh? Good. Any questions? All right, go do your try-its. Okay, this is example 2. Make sure you put example 2 in your journals.
Okay.
A skydiving company has a profit of $750 this week. This profit is $900 more than the profit last week. Which equation can be used to find P? So, first we need to find out what information we're looking for. So we're going to rewrite the given information. So in words, the profit this week is 900 more than the profit last week. When I say the words more, what kind of math do you think? Addition. Very good. So it's 900 more than the profit last week. So I could say plus 900, right? So profit plus 900 would make sense. So maybe we're looking at B or D, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's how many more?
900.
So maybe B here. It does say a skydiving company has a profit of $750 this week. So if I put this week's profit in, that's $750. When you see the word is, you put the equal sign. Write this down.
Equals.
And then I say 900 more, so that would be the profit plus 900. Makes sense?
Yes.
So P plus 900. Do we have an equation that looks like that? What number? What letter? B.
Yay.
That's it.
That's it.
Whoa.
You just had to make the equation. You don't even have to solve it. You just had to make the equation. Okay, so when you guys do word problems, slow down. Try and see what words make sense to create the algebra.
Yes.
Okay, read it several times. As you hear the number, write it down. All right, go do your next set. Try it number 4 and self-assess 5 through 9. Okay, try it number 4, self-assess 5 through 9. All right, example 3. Put this in your journals.
Okay.
Get your journal, put it in your journal. You and your friend play a video game. The line shows both of your scores after each level. What is your score after level 4? So you can see here that you follow along, you are the green line, and obviously you scored really high. Your friend scored very low. We need to figure out how to solve how many points you have here.
Oh.
Okay? So you're given a line graph that shows your level after level 4. Your friend's score is what?
33.
No. What's this right here?
4A.
Negative 8. 4 is the level. The score is the y value. Negative 8. Negative 8 is 33 points less than your score. That's what the 33 is.
Oh.
So 8 is 33 less than what you scored. So how do we find your score?
You add 33.
Your friend's score is 33 points less than your score.
Subtract.
I know. Let's make an equation first. So what's my friend's score?
Negative 8.
So I'm going to put a negative 8. Okay, is,
Equal.
put an equal sign. 33 points less than your score. What was my score? We don't know. We're putting an S there because we were trying to figure that out. Your score is S minus 33.
Whoa.
Okay, so now that I have negative 8 equals S minus 33, can I solve for S?
Yes.
How would I solve for S?
Plus 8.
I would, no, we need the S by itself. We got to move the 33 away.
30 plus 33.
So we're going to add 33 over to the left-hand side. What is negative 8 plus 33?
25.
25. So what was my score?
25.
25 points. Did I win?
Yes.
Yes, I did. He ended it at -8. I ended it at 25. I win.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost.
Yes, you did. All right. Any questions? Okay, real quick. Some of you are getting a little confused. When you're solving for a variable, it does not matter what side the equal side the variable is on. It can be on the right. That's fine. As long as you have solved it so that the variable is by itself. Okay? Once you've finished, then you just flip it over. See how the variable ended up by itself, but it's on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Totally okay. Then we just flip it over and say s equals 25.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So that's your last example. You need to go finish self-assessment through number 11. You got about 4 minutes. You might be able to have it done before you leave
Okay.
Leave where?
for recess.
Oh.